In this video, I'm going to document how I change tie rod on my 2017 4runner. It's Gen 5. The reason I'm changing it because I have a rattling noise when I go on a bumpy road, which I noticed recently. And when I inspect it, I see that the driver's side wheel is playing on 3 and 9 o'clock with a clunky noise, and it's clearly coming from the inner ball joint, inner tie rod ball joint. You can see it playing. I'm gonna replace both inner and outer tie rod on both sides and then do alignment. Let's see how it goes. These are the parts I got. So this is a boot for the driver's side. That's a passenger side boot. The part numbers are different. They come with clamps already. Small one are reusable, and the large one it's one-time use. You don't have to buy those. I chat GPT'd, and it looks like the reason why the driver's side is shorter because the steering rack is exposed on the driver's side less than on the passenger side, so the boot needs to be shorter. I saw on the YouTube videos that people order 2 of those boots. I don't know if that might work as well, but I'll just see how this one works for me. So this is the outer tie rod, 2 of them. That's the part number. It looks like they come with castle nuts. I saw some castle nuts in the back. I didn't unpack yet. And that is inner tie rod. That is a part. I got 2 of them. One is going to be delivered tomorrow. So it comes already pre-greased. I got some extra grease. I might put some in. We'll see. These are the parts. As far as special tools, I got this tool that is ball joint separator. You can rent it for free from local auto store or just buy it on Amazon for 15 bucks. And this is another special tool that you would need. That's a wrench for inner tie rod. You can also, I rented it for free from my local auto store, Napa store. Unfortunately, this is not going to work for me. I'm going to have to go tomorrow and get another one because this does not have my size. So this little special attachments, they go on the outer tie rod like this, and this is a 40 millimeters. So if you rent this tool, make sure it has attachment for 40 millimeters. This is the largest one that it has is 33.6. So I'm gonna go to AutoZone tomorrow and get another one. This is where I am now. I removed the castle nut from outer tie rod. I loosened up the inner tie rod nut. Some gotchas. Make sure you remove the castle nut completely before you press out the ball joint. And the reason is, if you don't remove it completely and you press the ball joint out, the whole thing starts spinning like this, and you won't be able to remove the castle nut. That happens, no worries, there's a remedy for that too. So let me show you what I did when it happened to me. So just put the tie rod back in. Let's say you're stuck. Let's say stuck like this. What you want to do is take a piece of 2x4 and press it all the way in, and that should secure the ball joint enough to remove the castle nut. You can also lift the wheel a little bit and put a more 2x4 under this thing and just lower it on that 2x4 to make more pressure on this ball joint bolt. But anyway, that's how I removed it. This is my setup for removal of the inner tie rod nut. So it was stuck. It was really stuck. I couldn't just move it. So I put some penetrating oil, then I put an outer tie rod back in, secure it a little bit. Then the outer tie rod wrench goes on 2x4 like this. The inner tie rod, it goes up, and I'm using 2x4 to lever it on the struts. And this will give me enough momentum to remove to loosen it up. My outer tie rod is pretty is in pretty bad shape. So the boot is clearly torn, and there's a dirty liquid getting out of it, a mix of oil and water and mud. So I think it's done. The inner tie rod in better shape, but it's kind of loose. I'm gonna replace it too. So the next thing is gonna be removing the boot. So boot is held by two clamps, one here, smaller one. It's easy to remove just with pliers. And that clamp over there, that one is single time use. We just need to knock it with something, and that's what I'm gonna do. The plan is to put a pry bar on that clamp and just hit it with a hammer. This was not necessary, I was just able to remove it with long nose pliers. One gotcha I forgot to mention. To press out the ball joint for the outer tie rod, when the wheel is fully lowered down, I couldn't get my tool in like this because the tie rod was on the way. Can I see it? Probably you can. So I had to lift the lower control arm, essentially lift the whole wheel hub to reduce the angle of the tie rod so I can get the tool in. It looks like I'm facing now the same issue with inner tie rod, and the sway bar is on the way. So I think I will need to lift the lower control arm to be able to get the tool in. That's what I'm gonna do. I believe if I lifted it far enough, I can get the tool in. So about the tool, this is the tool I got from the AutoZone, free loan. You just pay the deposit, 90 bucks, and it does have 40 millimeters attachment. It'll fit perfectly the tie rod. So it's just gonna go like this, and the tool is this pipe, giant pipe. It's gonna go over this like this. It's gonna secure the attachment like this. Secure the attachment and pull. I'll try that now. Okay, secure the tool. Let's just twist now. And success. It wasn't too hard. Okay, steering rack looks pretty good. Nice and solid, no play on it. Just clean it up a little bit. And I'm gonna do the process backwards now. So first put the inner tie rod, then I put a boot on and continue from there. Alright, my tie rods. This is the old one, this is the new one, look identical. The new one comes pre-greased. I'm gonna put a little more grease in there just in case. And put it in. Torque spec on this is 74 or 76 foot-pound. I need to double check, I think it's 74. And we'll torque it in place. I put some extra grease, and it's time to torque. Oh, by the way, I also put a blue thread lock just in case. That's what people do in other YouTube videos. So monkey see, monkey do. I just put it in there too. Alright, I torqued it to 74 foot-pound. That's what Grok says to do. I guess I can trust it. I also marked where the thread starts, and I want to put it into the same relative position where it was with my old tie rod. So it was slightly like 2 o'clock. Just go and rotate this to make it 2 o'clock. There you go. Should be as close to alignment as possible. Now I'm puzzled by how to tighten this one-time use clamp. It's pretty loose on the boot. It's pin welded on one side, it's free floating on the other side. So I'm assuming I just need to squeeze this P-shaped part of the clamp with the pliers to make it tight. Not sure. I'm gonna try it on the old boot and then do the same thing on the new one. new one looks like this. It's pretty loose. I put it on and not sure how to make it tight. I think I figured it out. You're supposed to do something like this with it. Okay, we'll try it. And it sits pretty snug after that. Okay, this is what I got. Did some strange shape with that clamp, but it sits pretty snug. I cannot move it with my fingers. Alright, let's move on. Smaller clamp is also installed. By the way, one note, when you take the new boot out, it's pretty stiff and it makes an impression that's too short. But, you know, stretch it up a little bit and it fits in pretty nicely. This nut that goes on inner tie rod, it looks like it's a reuse. I did not find it going with inner or outer tie rods. The outer tie rod does come with castle nut and the pin. Cleaned up the nut, it's good to go. Just pay attention, one of those sides of the nut is more flat than the other. The flat side should go to the outer rod, so we go this non-flat side in. New outer tie rod looks new. It does come, as I mentioned, with castle nut and the pin. The outer tie rod is on. I didn't secure it yet. I put 15 full rotations. When I took it off, I counted how many rotations it makes. It was 15 for me. So I also put the start of the thread roughly in the same position where it was. Hopefully it's going to make alignment some way, at least until for me to get into to alignment shop. I torqued the castle nut, torqued the 36 foot-pound as Grok suggests, and I'll need to torque it a little more to open that pinhole to get a cotter pin in. Okay, pinhole aligned. I'm gonna put cotter pin in and bend it. Time to torque now the secure nut on the inner tie rod. I think we'll be done with this side. Okay, this was my setup for the torque, and I've done it. It looks good to me. This side should be done now. A trick I used before doing the whole procedure, I took a piece of rope and measured the distance from wheel to wheel and marked it. So I put the tire straight now, wheel straight forward, and checked if alignment is the same. It looks like it's exactly the same distance as it was before I changed the driver's side, passenger side. Now it's time to change driver's side. Now left side, remove the pin, castle nut off. Left side I sprayed penetrator just in case up front while I was working on a passenger side, and everything goes just so much smoother. Alright, so next step, I removed the ball joint, depressed it. I actually couldn't use the tool this time for some reason on this side, so I just hammered it from the top to push it out. But it might be possible to use the tool with tires still on the ground, because the angle of the tire rod will be horizontal to the ground. It will have a lot more room to use the tool to get inside. I loosened up the nuts with 2 wrenches. It was a lot easier on this side. I think penetrator helped. Okay, now counting how many rotations it's going to take to remove it. The other tie rod, and you can see the boot is pretty much done. Next we are removing this nut, saving it for use, removing this clamp, removing that clamp inside, and removing the whole boot. And the boot is off. It's an old one, that's a new one. It looks like Grok did not lie. The part is different for the left side and the right side, so the driver's side is a little shorter. Now the fun part, I need to get lift the sway bar up to get my tool in, and for whatever reason I'm not able to lift it with lower control arm on the driver's side. I might need to lift lower control arm on the right side as well, so the sway bar wouldn't have as much pressure on. Alright, old inner rod is removed. It wasn't too bad, just had to lift the low control arm a little bit to get the sway bar out. Tie rod is in, torquing to 74, put a blue thread lock and a little bit extra grease. Alright, it's torqued. Now need to put boot in. First impression that the boot is too small, just need to stretch it to put it on the steering rack. Okay, boot is on, clamp, both of those are on. Rear one is secured, pretty tight. I put a mark where the thread ends, roughly at 11 o'clock where it was with the old tie rod. Knot is on. Alright, screwing the tie rod on, 14.25 rotation for me. Just torque the castle knot to 36. Now I need to insert the pin, bend it, and then we'll be good. Okay, pin is in. Now I need to secure the inner tie rod knot. Alright, and it should be done now. Second sight is definitely much faster than the first one. Okay, checking the geometry. Looks good. Alright, ready for alignment.